J.J. Cale's guitar, and he played it on the J.J. Cale 5. And Audie, his producer, I guess he bought it from him, and Audie passed away, and his wife wanted it to have a good home, and I heard through the grapevine that it was going to sell. So should we bring her on?
Let's bring her on.
The guitar.
Now that's amazing when a 1960 verse is the second best guitar.
Well, it's pretty it's pretty beautiful. I mean, there's
beer and vodka, preferably Grey Goose.
It's got that bite to it.
Right.
That one doesn't. Phoenix,
no.
that I call it, doesn't have.
I'm filming Senna. I gave her a cricket.
It's okay if I just play a little bit, right? Let's do that. All right.
She's got a good grip on her, on it. Peter Frampton with a 1960 Gibson Les Paul.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Is that guitar entirely stock?
Yes, the pickups. I'm not sure about the
Gonna get
tuning pegs. They might.
Yeah, they may have disintegrated.
I think Aiden might have. I'm not sure. Did you? They weren't right.
Well,
that's
in
right.
65 years, things will happen.
Yeah, but everything else is the same. Yeah.
Road like cocaine.
I don't know, but if you go to JJK 5, and there's an article on
I never knew he was a brat.
this piece on the
Neither did
internet
I.
on him recording it, and I think he used it on at least half, if not more, of the solos on the 5. So it's got that wonderful.
Were you two friends? Did you know?
I met him.
Yeah.
In the 70s, and I sat in with him once at the Whiskey. Was it the Whiskey a Go Go or one of those places?
That's in L.A.
And it was a highlight of my life. I'm just a huge fan of his.
Yeah. Amazing.
Hands are all shaky.
Okay, that's great. Well, that's going to be okay. We will. There cannot be any cooler guitars than those two, but let's see what else you're playing.
Okay, let's see. Okay, so this
Sunburst.
one. In 2010, we had a 100-year flood here in Nashville, and there's a place where most everybody, I'd say 80% of all the musicians in town and a lot of the bands around the country, for some reason, I don't know why they would store them in Nashville, but they did. And unfortunately, it was right next to a river, and the river rose above flood, and so we had a really, people lost their houses and everything. But this place where everything was stored was underwater, and to see the damage, they went in on jet skis and just looked down at the gear. All that was all flooded. So I had a guitar that was made by Gibson, and Tom Murphy had aged it for me, and that one split. You know, it was a horrible story. And so unbeknownst to me, Rick Gimbar had gone to Tom again after the flood, and they just said, "Look, surprise."
That's great.
So it was. It's a beautiful guitar, and it's a 60 reissue, because I like the 60 neck as opposed to the 59 baseball bat.
Sure.
Because I have smaller hands, so
You know, it's incredible. You have some of the best luck with guitars and the worst luck
Oh, yeah.
with guitars.
But that will happen. But I mean, you know, Chicago, John Fogerty. I mean, it goes far afield as to the people that lost stuff.
Sure.
Know. So yeah, it was. That was a horrible time.
This is your replacement for the Tom Murphy, and you're touring with this one as well.
Yes.
Switching up.
Yeah, this one is really got more of the. Let's go back here. So this would it. You know, so that's got that.
That is a massive, massive sound, man.
Yes, was that too much for you there?
So does it have the same kind of bite as your 1960s?
They're different. The 60 has these are Tom Holmes pickups and they are used on my the reissue of the 35 reissues of the clones of the Phoenix that Gibson put out there, and whereas the pickups on the 60 are patent applied.
Yeah, the original.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the original. So it's a little calmer. This has definitely got more bite to it. But the Tom's pickups makes they're all different.
Yeah, all different in time.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah.
Well, it's so great that you actually tour with these incredible museum piece guitars.
Yeah, call me crazy, but no, I can't play with something that looks good and doesn't sound good. It's got to
Right.
sound good first.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I've got to see what's next in
Right.
the in
Let
the
me go to the vault. And this one is the complete opposite because it's a 64 again. I had a 1964 335 that went through the flood, and luckily I was covered on insurance for that. A lot of people weren't, and I sort of feel guilty in a way, but because a lot of people couldn't replace everything, but I was able to replace this. So, and it is a 64 335, and it would be.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
That's what Klaus Meine
Yeah, this would be.
plays during Coast to Coast.
So,
Oh yeah, that thing is bassy. Beautiful. I love the color. It's kind of like a burnt.
there you go.
That's great, man. Great. And where'd you hone your jazz
Like
chops in? Was that your studio
cherry-
work?
I'm still holding those.
How would you
I
describe
think I'm a jazz influence player. I wouldn't say I'm a jazz player, but I do. When I was growing up, the first two guitarists that I loved instantly when I was about 7 or 8 years old was
Did you see him?
Hank Marvin from the group The Shadows.
Sure.
Oh, the Shadows. I remember.
I never heard of the Shadows.
I don't know if the Strat-
Rudolph and
Do you
Michael
know
both love the
Strat, yeah?
Shadows. And Leslie West.
Um,
The Pretty Things.
so
Those look adorable.
Don't you like
yes,
them?
So The Shadows
They're
came out
suede.
in, I don't know,
Black
58,
suede.
59, something like that. Cliff Richard was their singer. He's like the British Elvis, you know. And he's still going strong. And
Really?
yeah. And so The Shadows, Hank Marvin had a red Strat, 58 Strat, and it was just a killer sound through a box, you know. And with a Swiss Echo or whatever tape echo thing he had at the time. And so that was that was my first love, was that sound. And then my parents, at the same time as I'm listening to the Shadows album, my parents are listening to what they loved, which was Django Reinhardt, Stefan Grappelli, Hot Club de France.
Right.
Which I wasn't too thrilled with at the time. It sounded like, as my kids call it, Dad's listening to that silent movie music again. So, but it's, once you, I remember I'd take my album off and my dad would put his Django album on, and I'd see how far I could get up the stairs before I had to hear it.
Where are you going?
And
Go get my
this
ticket.
jazz stuff. And so, and then each time
Bob
you
Wu.
put it on,
Then I'm gonna go
I
to
wouldn't rush
Okay,
out to
your
put it
gloves
in
and your
the-
mask.
I'll
Hello.
put it on myself, because I go, this guy's incredible.
Incredible.
And your phone, do you have your
Arguably,
phone?
As Sean Penn says in that
Okay.
movie.
Be careful. What about your neck
I'm
knife?
the best except for one guy.
What about your neck
There's
knife?
one guy that's better than me.
Yes, you
And
need
it's Django.
knives,
Yeah.
taser,
And,
derringer,
and he truly, I believe,
mace,
was, genius.
slingshot.
Yeah, clearly.
And not only did he learn how to play guitar once, with all 10 fingers, he had to learn to play guitar with only 2 fingers workable on his left hand, you know, and due to a fire. And so it's just quite incredible. I listen to him every day. I mean, at least a couple of tracks a day, because it's just, I don't know, it's his gypsy soul or something.
Right,
You know,
right.
that the man could play 1,000,000 notes in half a second, or he could play one note that would go through 5, 6 different chord changes, but it was the right note.
Right.